That error is not solved yet.
Oh, okay.
So we will start generic data sources in ECC system.
Okay.
Then later I will show you the how to create the data flow in BA. Generally, it's the same. I mean, we have to create DSOs and info cube and transformations.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen before, and we will see it again.
Okay.
But first of all, we will deal with ECC. So we are going to see generic data sources, and we will create a data source in on customer master data. So generically, not SAP given. SAP given data source is this. This one is for the master data attributes for customer. So you will have a lot of attributes and uh, master data. I mean, there is a customer characteristic which will have the attributes as we know how to create master data in ECC. In BA system, it is the same process here. So what will happen is here in this extract structure, the fields which are coming are from they are from the table LFA1. So we will create master data on LFA1. So first of all, let's discuss. Let me give a short description of generic data sources. So generic data sources are the user created data sources, and we create generic data sources when we have an option, like when we have a requirement to create the new data source, new extract structure which doesn't exist in SAP. SAP has given business content. If we are not if our requirement doesn't suit that, then we have to go for generic data sources. So SAP already has given business content. There are different and if our requirement is different, because every business is different and every business has its own requirement. So even though we have a lot of solutions given by the SAP, we still need to do the 60-70% of customization, a little bit of changes, etc. So for every business. So for that purpose, we do generic extractors and generic data sources to extract the data. And for that purpose, we have generic data sources concept in SAP given. and we can create various data sources from master data and transaction data, and there are different types of generic data sources. So we can create master data attributes, master data text, and transaction data sources. We cannot create, however, hierarchy data source. So hierarchy data sources are not available, and in generic data sources. So there are four methods that we can create generic data sources. And for example, if we have a requirement to create a data source, and then we get all the to create a report, and then we get all the fields that we required for that report in one table, then we go for generic data source with the help of table. And if we have a report requirement which is a bit complex, and we have to search for the fields in different tables, and we get all those fields are fragmented in different tables, and then we have to consolidate those tables in that case, and we can do that with the help of views, database views. And if we have a outer join to create, because database views in technically in ABAP perspective, if you see, database views are creating the inner join between tables, one or two tables, more than one tables. And info set queries are about creating outer join between more than one tables. So if we have a custom requirement that we have different we have fields which are coming from different tables for the report, and then we want to join those tables in a outer join rather than inner join, then we have to go for info set query. If you have a custom requirement that doesn't satisfy all this, all these methods like table, generic data source with the help of table, with the help of view, or with the help of infoset query, then we have to go for functional module, and we have to write a coding for that. So there are four types of generic data sources. So these are the four types of generic data sources we can create. These are the four methods to create generic data sources. And the types of data sources we can create are three: master data attributes, text, and transaction data. The transaction code to create generic data sources is RSO2. This is the transaction code to create generic data sources. So with the help of RSO2 transaction, we can create a master data sources and text data sources and transaction data sources. In that, in this transaction code, we have to give the application component, and we have to give either we are extracting data from info sets or from views or functional modules, and then we can create data source. We will see how to create generic data sources. Say I want to create a master data attributes. Text. Here you can click F4 to give the appropriate module. I want to give SD as a application component, and when we create a data source, we will find our data source in SD application component. So here we have a database table and data extract structures and info sets, functional modules. So here we can see these are different options we have. Extract structure will be created when we pick the table or view or something, and we save a data source on that. Then extract structure will be created. All those fields will be returned to a new structure which will be created for our data source. And info set is from the SAP queries. There is for example, when we create a SAP query and we create an info set, and that info set we can use it here to extract the data. Those fields that we select there, they can be used for extract structure. And functional module, we create a functional module and extract structure that we give here, we will give here, and we can create those functional modules. So I want to give the table LFA1. Let me show about something about the table. So these are the details of the table. We go to SC11 transaction code, which is a ABAP dictionary. Here we give the table name LFA1, and when we see, this is a actually I was thinking of creating customer data, but this is a vendor master. So let's see. This is what I wanted to create. So here we can check the details. Here you go to SC11, and in database tables you have to give the database tables name, and all the details of database tables will be displayed. And by the way, the ABAP dictionary is a transaction code to create, even you can create database tables here if you have access. Then you can create, there are all the fields available here. There are a lot of fields, and all these fields will be available in BW once you create this. So, for example, we have selected this table for customer master data, and we wanted to create generic master data on that table. You have to save this. Okay, let me create it as a local object. You can see the extract structure I have created. This one is generated for our data source, and you have this selection. You can either select or hide fields, and there are like different fields that we can make selections. You can make any selection, city, or like that. And when you save it, you will see the structure here. And then we know that our data source is created. Now we will check it by going to RSS6, and we have created it in a SD module. We got Zcast here. So this is our data source. So we can check the data in RSA3. You can see the selections appeared. You can see the customer names and some numbers are given, cities, all the details of customers are given here. So by this we know that our data source is okay, and we got some data to extract to BW. So that is about the uh, customer master data attributes creation in generic data sources. So we will see how to create customer uh, uh, how to create the generic data source for views, database views. So here now database views are created to join more than one table. So we can join the two tables in a relational join, I mean in a inner join with the help of views. And we can create, we can select, we have an option to select fields from both the tables. And once we join that, and we can create our database view based on that. So there are generally four kinds of views in SAP. One is database view, maintenance view, projection view, and help view. So in these four kinds of views, we generally create database views because we have a requirement to create joins for more than one table. You can see the projection view is only for the to select the fields, few fields from one table. You cannot do the, I mean, more than one table in projection view. You cannot create joins, etc. So maintenance view, you can retrieve the data and you can do the operations like insert, modify, and delete operations on the data based on maintenance view. So there is a transaction code SM30 to, I mean, to retrieve, to get the maintenance view, to use it to retrieve the data to do maintain the view. And the help view is used as a selection method of an elementary searching. So these are the four kinds of views we have, but we generally create database views. We don't actually touch other projection views and all. Those might be useful for ABAPers. So we have so these are the four kinds of views we have. To create the views, you have to go to SC11 transaction code. Here we will check the, first of all, we will check the tables that we want to create. For example, for the sales, there are VBAK, these tables are available for the sales. Just like that, for SI we have so on tables are for the F5. For production planning, we have few ASs. So on for the production. Like this, for every module, there are different database tables. And for every database table, there are a lot of fields which are grouped according to the database table. So we have to select which database tables we have to create view from. Just give me a second, I will select. I have a book where I have all the tables.
Okay.
So we will create on VBRK and VBRP, which are billing document header and billing document item tables. So these two we will create view on. You have a lot of fields here for the different, I mean, fiscal year and all billing categories, billing documents. All these fields are grouped here.
Okay.
So this one gives all the information about the billing sold to parties and all the billing fields are there. And let's see the other one. This is a billing document item data, and here we have billing document here as well. So we need some common fields in order to create a view. So few common fields it will give because it is a same I mean header and item fields, and we will get a few detailed fields like invoice quantity and all the details in this one denominator numerator. So all these details will be found here as well, taxes, etc. So this is item level data. As well, this is whereas this one is a header level data. So let's create a table on this. We have to create a view first. So I'll create. You have to go to SE11 and you have to give database views, check radio button, and then you have to give the name. Have to create. When you click create, you have the four options here: database view, projection view, maintenance view, help view. We will go with the database view because we create database views only. Give the description of the and when you select VBRK, VBRP like this, and all this, when you check the relationships, you will get the relationships between them. Like if you want the automatic relationships between them, you will get that, or you have to create manually. It's not giving. Let me keep it here. Maybe okay. So there are no relationships drawn automatically by the system between these two tables. However, we have to create it manually, and we should create that manually. Let's see the billing document in Veblen. So you have Veblen here in VBRK, and you have Veblen here in VBRP as well. So what we have done is to create a relationship between them. And so when we give these two fields, it will draw a relationship. It means it is just like we do the inner join. When we do inner join, we have to give the relationship. So just like that, it works. SAP has given. I mean, is it will generate the program in the background, and we can just drag and drop things, and we can do it more graphically, and the program will be generated in the background.
Oh.
There is a plant here works. I will check whether we have plant here or not. So we don't have a plant here. So billing item is there. I don't.
Yes, I.
I guess it is the internet problem from here. I guess I don't know.
Okay, yeah, maybe from my side. Where were we? Like, I think we are on a little back. Yeah, here.
Yeah, we are searching like fields
Mm-hmm.
to join between two tables.
Okay.
So here we have created one join with billing document,
Okay.
and we want to create another join, two or three fields. If you give one or two fields, that one field is enough
Mm-hmm.
minimum. Then two three fields will be better. So for that purpose, we will do one more field. So here we got sales organization, VKORG,
Mm-hmm.
but it is in a different format. We have to make sure whether this. So you can see the domain is VKORG for this.
Mm-hmm.
So the data element, it means the description has been changed for this. So we can use this name. So these are the two conditions we give. And now here in view fields tab, you can see there are tabs like attributes, tables of joint conditions, view fields, selection conditions, and maintenance status. In attributes tab, you will have only the package and language, etc. And table or joint conditions, you have to give the tables and you have to give the conditions for the joint conditions. And view fields, here you have to select the fields you required. I mean, for the creation of the view, uh, here you will be able to select the necessary fields, so that you don't have to load all the fields available. So here I will select from VBRK. I'm selecting all these fields. and we have to select from VBRP. We need some more fields. We'll select net weight, gross weight, weight unit. So, for example, we want this field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here we have selected the fields required, and here you can see we have, an option to create this, selection. For example, if we want to filter the data, we don't want to load all the data that is coming in the view. So, for that purpose, in order to filter the data further, we can add the filters here.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I will show you how to add the filter. For example, you want to add Veblen, or say you want to add a sales organization. Company code will be better, and you want to use the operator like less than or equal to some company code or some code. We don't know what is there in sales organization, what is available.
Mm-hmm.
I will see. Let's see what is there in company code, and we will create company code.
Okay.
You can, for example, if I keep it 1000, then it will be for this. Then when you execute, there will be data will be filtered according to that. So like that, we can create a filter in views as well. In
Mm-hmm.
views, here you can see this is a, let's take this out and create from VBRK Bukas. So here there is a bookers, company code, copy this and operator equal to and 2000, and here you can use and or. If you want to use more than one filters you can do and, or if you want to use this one or another filter you can use or.
Okay.
So for example it is the last one, then you don't have to use anything. So that is how we create the views, and here you can see these are the tabs and that is all we have here. You have to activate this. So the data source the view is database view is activated, and you can see there are few warnings, but they definitely will give. For example, if we just add one mandate, we don't add twice. So like that. Okay. So view is consistent. That's what we want to see. Now we can see the data which is coming into this view with the value bookers 9950 data. So this is the data that is coming into our view. So everything is fine.
Mhm.
Now we will go to RSO2 and we will create the data source for this. And creating data source is the same process. Mm. Application component will create SD, and then we have to give the billing. And here you have to give the views name Z SLS. What was our views name?
Mm, I'm not sure. GST.
ZSD underscore DLY.
Okay.
So this is our view here. ZSD underscore DLY. So enter. Now we can generate the save, and we can create the generic delta. Here generic delta is a concept that we have to um, discuss now. So here we can give the delta specific fields. For example, if we have to make our data source a delta specific, and we want to give a data a field to make in order to make our data source a delta, then we have to select that field. That field should be either a document, a monotonically increasing number, or it should be date and time or date.
Okay.
So here, this Veblen billing document can be used as a monotonically increasing number, but it is not. Actually, what will happen here is if we use it, we can use it, but the logic for the business doesn't work, because in the business, billing document can be edited back again. For example, there's a billing document 1000, and that billing document is generated and we have pulled that data. But what will happen later is that billing document can be edited. A customer can cancel, or can update the billing.
Mm-hmm.
After that updation or cancellation or editing, the document can be edited back, and it will be pushed again back into the ECC. In that case, we cannot get the data in the delta. What is the meaning of the delta? When delta is data means the newly created or changed data. For example, we have loaded the full upload. After that, we keep it to the delta. It means that it should be able to pull all the records that are newly created for the data source or change it for the data source. And in this case, we cannot create newly created, we cannot get the changed records, right? We
Mm-hmm.
can get the newly created records for the billing document if we give a billing document as a delta, but we cannot get the changed records. So we have to think it in a business perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So we do not have a proper field for to give the delta, generic delta. So what we will do is to leave it, and we will go back to the SE11. Here we'll change our data view, database view, and we will try to add the fields that are useful in the delta. So we can add billing date. So date on which the record was created is there. So there is another date changed on. So we'll see whether we'll get much better fields in VBRP. So we can have order number. Okay, leave it here, and we will activate this again back.
Okay.
We activated this now, and you go to the RSO2 back. So now you can create the generic delta. So there are three types of generic delta basically: the calendar day, timestamp, and numeric pointer. Generic delta, so generic delta is used to identify the field for the delta purposes. It means we will select one of the field of the data source to identify it as a generic delta. It means, for example, I have created a monotonically increasing number. If, for example, there is a document number, and this one I know that business is posting according to the that field, and this is a monotonically increasing field. It means every document will have a each document number. In that case, I will create a document number as a numeric pointer. So there are three types of deltas. So these are the three types of deltas available. In numeric pointer, it means that we have a numeric pointer. For example, we have a document number 1000, and we have a document number, and so on. So in this document number, for example, we have loaded the full load up to 1004. We have loaded up to this pointer, and then after that, the we have to load from 1005 to 1010, which are newly created documents. So, for example, we have selected the document number as a numeric pointer, then full load will be loaded up to this, right? After that, we know that the newly created data is from 1005, and the system will load from 1005 to 1010. So this is called numeric pointer. And for example, the calendar day is based on a calendar day field. So if you have a cal day field in your data source, I mean cal day is a name for the info object, but generally a field which gives the date. I mean you have the posting date. For example, you have a posting date and a document posting date, which is for example you are posting according to the date. In that case, we can pull up to the date, say we have 11, we have O2. So here we have like date, and we have done the upload full load until this date 15th. And now the newly created data will be 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And we have to, we will load only the newly created data. We don't load the full load which we have done up to this date. So for that purpose, calendar day can be created, calendar day field. And just like that, we have numeric timestamp. In timestamp, the data will be like, it's not only the this date but 8 digit, but you will have date plus time. It means hours, minutes, and seconds as well. This one plus hours will be 15 hours, minutes 20 minutes, and the seconds will be 50 seconds. Like that, all those fraction of data will be loaded. Data will be loaded according to this field. So that is called timestamp. This one together. So there are three types of delta, and in FI you will find timestamps. Fields for the timestamps. If you are extracting with the FI tables, then you will find those timestamp fields in those tables, and you can extract data according to that. And for example, if you have a if you have selected a numeric pointer, in order to select a numeric pointer, a field should be monotonically increasing. As I have just said, that if you select the pointer which has, which can be changed and reverted back, those data we will be losing. So for that purpose, we have to think it in a business perspective. Either the number is the document number is the unique and monotonically increasing number, or is it just going to be changed and posted back again and again? That we have to decide.
Okay.
And once you decide, you have to select that field as a numeric pointer. So for example, if you have a bank account, you must know that there is a bank account number and there is a transaction number. So there is two different entities, fields will be there. So account number is different and transaction ID is different. You should know that either you have to select account number as a numeric pointer or the transaction ID as a numeric pointer. Which one will be appropriate here?
Mm, account number.
No, because if you select an account number as a numeric pointer,
Mm,
and you load the data. You already have loaded till now until today. You loaded the data on based on the account numbers. Like your account number is 1001, and you have loaded the data for a certain some user's account number 1001. And later, what will happen? That account number will be doing transactions again and again. Every day there will be transactions,
mm,
and according to that account number we are loading the delta. Then what will happen is the numeric pointer will be there. We 101, it will be noted as loaded in the system, and according to the system it is loaded, and the next day it will be posting, data will be posted according to the account number 1001. But this data is different, but we are not able to load the data because of the purpose, because we have given it as a delta field, and it already loaded. So for that purpose, for example, if we have taken the transaction ID, it will produce the account number can be 101, today, tomorrow, and every day. It can be 101, but the transaction ID will be monotonically increasing.
Okay.
Say 5001, but the transaction ID here can be monotonically increasing.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Every time you, put money or either you withdraw or add money to your account, there will be a transaction ID created for the same account number, and all those transactions should be captured, right? For example, we have loaded the data up to here, and then we have kept in delta. We are looking for the delta data. You will be creating all those transactions tomorrow and day after tomorrow every time, and all those records will be created, and all these newly created records will be loaded when we give a transaction ID
Okay.
as a delta.
Okay.
So for that purpose, we have to think it that way and give the numeric pointer. It should be monotonically increasing number. It should not be the number that we can repeat or we can edit and pull it back. So for calendar day, if we select a zero calendar, we have to give a date field for the zero cal day, and we will pull the data according to the date. For example, the data is posted till 28th August. We will pull the data up to 28th August, and then the newly created data up from 21st.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the data is created will be in the delta queue, and we can do the delta again.
Okay.
For example, if we load the data in 28 September, then the data that is newly created from 28 August to the 28 September can be loaded back in 28 September. We don't have to load all the data again, so there is the use of delta. And timestamp is also in the similar way with the time accuracy, with the accurate time and seconds, up to seconds, we can load data. So these are the three options we have.
Mm-hmm.
Here I will give numeric calendar day. We will select one calendar day field. Here in our data source there are fields available, and we will select the billing date, or we will select the date on which we will select a date field, and you can give there is a safety interval. It means you have a safety interval upper limit or safety interval lower limit. You have to choose one of them. For example, if you choose a safety interval upper limit, for example, if you have selected the safety interval upper limit, it means that you made a decision not to load the most recent data. It means that you intentionally should lose the most recent data in order to repeat the data in next delta.
Okay.
Is you when you select the safety interval upper limit, you will not be loading the recent data, but to intentionally load the data, select the pointer in the a backward, a bit further. So for that purpose, what will happen? For example, if you have, why do we need safety intervals? In safety intervals, we have to, for example, we have loaded the data up to 11:30 p.m. on the date of some date 1st August. We have loaded the data on 11:30 p.m. So after that, what will happen? After half an hour, the date will change, and the date will become 12, 2 at 00. So the data that is, posted between 11:30 p.m. and 12 p.m., 12 a.m. will be lost. So for that purpose, we have to keep some safety interval. For example, for the calendar day, we have to keep the safety interval for one day at least. When you select one, it means that we are leaving this first, and we are loading up to 37.
Okay.
Is it July 31st or 30?
31st.
31st. So we are loading it up to 31st. So we make a choice not to, when we select a safety interval upper limit, the idea is to not miss the data, but to load the data with some delay, but to miss the most recent data for but to keep the most recent data for the next load, and we will confirm that we are not missing the data. It is better than losing the data. So for that purpose, we will load safety interval upper limit. In the same way, if we select the safety interval lower limit, the idea is to repeat the data again, but rather than of missing the data. It means that we will this safety interval of 1 day 31, we will load it today, but we will load it again. We will repeat the data again. So here, what we will do is in next, that case, we will repeat the data again and again. That may be suitable for your scenario or not. It depends on your scenario. For example, if you have a scenario where you have to do the summation of the key figures, when you repeat the data again, the key figures will go and add it up, and it will give you the wrong result. You have a key figure 10 quantity, and you have a key figure, you have repeated the data again 10 10. What will happen? The result in the cube will be 20.
Okay.
So for that purpose, you have to see whether which one is proper for you. Either you want to load the most recent data, and you want to or you want to keep it repeat. Either if you want to load the most recent data, you have to repeat it, right?
Yes.
And if you want to keep it normal without repeating, then you have to miss the most recent data.
Yeah.
You have to miss the 1 day data. So that is the concept here.
Okay.
Let's say I have given one field for the calendar day. I have selected the cal day, and I will give one here for the upper limit. I will give the additive delta because it is newly changed. So that is how we create the fields. And then you have to select some selections: fiscal year, company code. So we are good to go. And you have when the extract structure is generated, then it means that our data source is generated. So you can see that in RSS6, you can go to the SD module where we created our data source. Here we will see Z data source somewhere.
Z ZDS view.
No, GS is not ours. ZSD or SLS? ZSLS
Okay.
is billing data. Here, this is our ZSLS and Zcust. We have to make note of these data sources so that we can create uh, later the BW flow for that. So we will see what our data source is extracting, how it is extracting the data ZSLS DLY. So here we have three selections. You have to give 9,950 records are selected, just like we have seen in view. We have seen this number in view, right?
Yes.
So this is how you consolidate. I mean, when you do the testing, you have to see whether how much the data the view is providing, how much data the data source is providing. Either there are errors, or are we missing some data, or are we getting the junk data? Like that, we have to. I mean, it will be. That is how we do the confirmation. Like if the data is from certain view, then for example you are missing some data. In that case you have to do the what do you say, you have to test it, you have to test your data flow, and you have to do it step by step. So, for example, you are getting the same data the in PSA, and you don't know where you are missing your data. Then you have to come back to the RSA3 and compare the number of records from here to the data source in BW, PSA in BW. And if they are okay, then you have to compare the RSA3 data to the view data. Like that, we have to do. So our data source is okay. We are getting data correctly, and I will guess there is some document. Go to downloads. I will see this one maybe. Yeah. So we have a data source with the name Z customer, and this one we have created it for. There is a COPA data source actually. These fields are for the COPA.
Okay.
Zcust we have created for master data source with KNA1, right? Table. And we have created Z SLS underscore DLY. And this one we have created for from the view. And tables we have used are RP. And the view name is ZSD underscore
View.
ZSD underscore DLY. Let me see again now. ZSD underscore DLY, and then we have created a data source here, generated a data source here for the COPA 0 COPA 0 COPA CSTSD, cost based CPSD, I guess something like that. We
Mm.
can get that name as well
Okay.
here. CSBSD, 1_COPS CSBSD. Cost based data sources created here.
Okay.
So now that we have created three data sources, one is for the COPA, one is for the generic data master data, and one is for the generic view.
Mm-hmm.
And we have another two requirements to do, like for the info set queries and functional modules. So for the moment, as our BI system is not working,
Mm-hmm.
we will. We have a pending that we have to create a data flow in BW system for one of them. We will create one data flow for the BW,
Okay.
one or two data flows, and then I will show you the other two data flows, other two data sources creation in ECC. So I will see you tomorrow.
Okay, Shahid.
Okay, Ravi, can you send this video to me?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you.